Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and make sure to leave a like, comment, share, and ring the bell to make sure that you stay up to date on future uploads. We're currently on the road to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so if you like my content, make sure to show your support. Today, we'll be going over the Xfinity race at Texas, and honestly, this was a straight up carbon copy of the truck race for the most part. So if you watched that video I made yesterday on that race, then you should have a rough idea on how Saturday's race played out for the most part. So I don't think I need to rehash most of what I said yesterday. You had comers and goers, a couple of strategy calls. The race even ended in double overtime, mainly due to the fact that we had a lot of cautions that shook things up, especially towards the end, with some drivers also going through the grass that caused a couple accidents. We saw that plenty in the truck race too. And again, you can attribute that to the lack of practice and qualifying for both series, as Friday's activities were cancelled due to rain. But it wasn't all that bad, because there were also some longish green flag runs sprinkled in between. We also did see some green flag stops in stage 3, although in the case of this Xfinity race, the pit cycle was never completed because of who else but Kris motherfucking Wright, just parking it in front of Allgaier as he was coming up to make the pass on him. The dumbass can't even decide which lane he wants to take, either the bottom lane or the middle lane. He ends up taking the middle, but as Allgaier is closing in, he moves down to the bottom again, and this leads to both of them crashing off turn 4. This, of course, takes Allgaier out of the race, which is absolutely heartbreaking when you realize he has been arguably the guy to beat in the last 4 Xfinity Texas races, and yet has no wins to show for it. As a matter of fact, he has not won at Texas yet, despite it being one of his best tracks statistically. And he got a good shot at winning this race too. Led 99 laps, won stage 1, and finished second to Austin Hill in stage 2. How Kris Wright still gets job opportunities is baffling. I get that his family has deep pockets, but still, with how much equipment he tears up, at some point enough is enough. You also have to wonder when his presence on the team will become a net loss financially, because he's wrecked so many cars everywhere he's gone. Those sponsorship dollars will eventually not be enough to cover the bills, and they sure as hell are not worth the ensuing PR nightmare. And I'm not kidding. Every time Kris Wright does something boneheaded, which for him is every other week it seems, my instant reaction is to go to Twitter, or X, I personally still call it Twitter, deal with it, and I check how many replies are there in his latest post. And last time I checked, there were like 60 to 70 replies or something, and I don't even think I saw like 5 likes on that post, so that's just an insane ratio. And of course I didn't scroll through each and every one of the replies, but I'm willing to bet almost every single one of them was fans calling him out for his poor driving, which is justified, by the way. Again, I really don't like hating on drivers too much, and I sure as hell do not condone any death threats, but Kris Wright is not doing himself any favors. He's making it extremely easy for us to dislike him, from his driving on track to his attitude on social media whenever he gets called out, if you remember the Josh Bilicki drama from earlier in the year. If he's not gonna get benched for a race or two, then at the very least they need to sit him down and have a talk with him. I don't care if it's the team or a NASCAR official, but he's made enough of a stink, just a third of the way into the season, for him to be left unchecked. Imagine if the championship race comes down to Kris Wright wrecking one of the guys who are fighting for the title. It wouldn't surprise me if that happens. But yeah, with Allgaier out, this left the door wide open for Kyle Larson to just cruise to the win with relative ease. And Larson was driving the 88 this time. He was subbing in for Connor Silich, who unfortunately was not clear to race this week due to the lower back injury he suffered last week at Talladega. He said he was okay and was gonna get a second opinion just in case, and turns out he wasn't given the green light. And with Xfinity having a 3-week break coming up, as their next race is in Charlotte at the end of the month, his camp decided it would be best for him to sit out and let Larson take over for this one race. Of course, those late cautions kind of kept the field within striking distance, and yes, he even pitted for 4 tires during one of those yellows, but once the field got rolling, even in a short run, Larson just kept picking them off. He went from 8th to 5th on one restart, then from 5th to 3rd, and by the final restart he was up to second, right beside Sam Mayer. And despite Mayer having the lane advantage and him being the control car, Larson just embarrassed him. Like, by the time the field had made it to the backstretch, Kyle was well ahead of the rest of the field. I believe the margin of victory was about a second. It could have been a little more than that, but that's just how far he pulled away in just 2 laps. It was just insane to watch. But yeah, guess I didn't have anything else of note to say about this race that I didn't mention in the truck race from yesterday. Again, Xfinity was for the most part a carbon copy of the truck race. Only difference, of course, being that the truck race doesn't have a Kris Wright. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell if you like my videos. We're on the road to 1K, so every little bit of your support helps. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next race.